Radio too? Not yet. We're not on the radio yet. So what do we have to do now? We are on live here for WTHC and on Facebook land, but I have to set us up on the radio. Broadcast on. All right. Now we are live on WTHC. We are live on Facebook on WTHC's Facebook page. We are live on WTHC's YouTube channel, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to just share it out on our The Perfect Positivity Show Facebook channel. So we're on everything. And we just created the Perfect Positivity Show YouTube channel. So after that's what makes it a podcast versus just a regular radio show, is that it will be shared onto that page as well. So it'll be on YouTube on the Perfect Positivity Show, and it'll be everywhere. And so this is exciting. Oh, I can see us. I'm going to just share us right now. Let me see. Share. Yay, now it's sharing everywhere. All right, so welcome. Let me turn the music down a little bit as much as I'm digging it. I like it as a little intro music. But as we go through this, I'm gonna... Oh, and there it goes. I wanted to have a little bit going on. If it ever starts to drive us crazy, we can play around with that. I'm just testing it out. So how was your week, Thomas?
My week was wonderful, actually.
Did you do the homework?
Of course I did the homework. Remind me what the homework was. No, I'm okay.
For everybody who doesn't know what the homework was, Thomas does know what the homework was. The homework was to practice the manifesting techniques that we talked about last week.
This one thing.
And just try to manifest one little thing. And so, yeah. And
so all right, you want to just jump right in? Let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
Right in. Okay, great. So there's a couple of things that I know we're going to get to tonight. So one of the things I know we're going to get to tonight is taking out the word but, not your tushy, and including the word and. So I'm kind of skirting around the homework, but it has to do directly with what my homework was, because I did it too. And I found myself always saying the word, I would be so happy to have blah, 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 but I want it blah, 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 and I want it, da, 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 and I want, but I'd rather have it X, Y, Z, and I'd rather have it. And then I was listening to a seminar where my hero, Esther Hicks, was saying when we include the word but into it, it automatically sets up resistance. It automatically sets us up more or less for failure. So she's, try to tip the scales back to being more positive 51% of the time, and on and on and on, to where my friend Katie also said, try to take the word but, and we weren't even discussing this. She says, I have to try to take the word but out of what I say. And I know I've said this before. I have been trying to sell a trailer that I own in upstate New York, and I kept putting, but I want XYZ dollars for it, but I want blah, 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 but I don't want someone who's going to disrespect the campgrounds, but I blah, 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 blah. And I started writing out what I actually wanted, and I was writing out the word but. And then I was like, what am I doing? So I tore out the page.
Yeah.
I am so happy and grateful that the trailer is sold and to a wonderful and happy family. And
that's awesome.
Grateful, that the trailer.
So you changed your vibe, and then what happened?
So then, just today, literally today, not 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago. Actually, I'll tell you exactly how many hours ago. The call came in today, 2 p.m., 1:57 p.m. So 5 hours ago. sold.
Sold.
Sold. Somebody up there who we have an agreement was showing trailers around.
Yeah.
The woman who looked in it fell in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
She is looking for a summer place where she can be happy, a positive experience.
Right.
And this is what, now the owners of the campground, they're not into any, like, they're very, very old. They're not into any of this. I didn't say a word. The woman was looking for somebody who truly appreciated being at the campground, somebody who was very happy, somebody who was positive, somebody who, I was looking for someone who was positive, who would keep the trailer in nice condition.
So what people might not understand is it's not just that you're purchasing a trailer, but you're purchasing membership in this little neighborhood, this little community,
little neighborhood,
where it's all little summer people and they all get together and it's part of the community. Like you're not going there, I hate to say it this way, to be alone per se. You're going there because you're neighbors and you all get together all the time.
Wonderful community. Yes.
So if someone joins that and they take over your trailer, they have to be able to vibe with the neighbors there and connect and
and the kind of community that it is, it's like something out of like 1950s, not where it's very old school, but the people up there, they're wonderful. And you could be walking past someone's campground. Hey, do you want a hot dog? Do you want a sandwich? Do you want a soda? Do you want a water? Do you want a this? Do you want a that? Hey, do you want to go swimming? I don't even know you. Hey, we're going swimming. Hey, come on down. We're going swimming. That kind of community. So that's who I was trying. That's
right. You wanted to make sure that you left this place with the people that you love, having someone to fill the void. Fill the Thomas void, which is a lot.
The owner of the campground called me, and I said, and he quoted me what they said. I didn't want to haggle. I didn't want to that's fine, that sounds fine. And then I says, wait, stop. I says, how are they as a person? I said, are they going to be respectful of the campground? And that's when he said, he's the one that told me, she is wonderful. She wants to plant flowers. She wants to, she's already grooving with the neighbors that are up there. She wants just a positive experience. She wants nature. She wants to meditate. She wants
and it's about, listen, I'm going to get some money for this transaction, but I'm also, sharing that love experience. I found somebody who's going to love this place like I loved it when I got to be there.
Right.
And that's part of it.
And something that I didn't tell you on the phone, because we spoke about this very little and we saved it. We both said we don't.
Thomas and I have these prep calls where we're like, don't tell me the story. We'll tell later.
And it was a little bit less than I wanted to accept for it. However, part of what we wanted to talk about tonight was, if something comes at you that's not quite how you envisioned it, you know what? Change it to a positive by trying to find the positive in it. So what I did was I flipped the coin and said, you know what? I am happy and grateful taking a little bit less money for this, because I am gifting this new family this wonderful positive experience. I'm going to gift them the difference. I'm going to gift them the difference. That stays in their pockets.
Yes.
Have this wonderful summer with their child and
hold on 1 second. I'm so sorry, honey. What are you saying for me?
Hi, honey.
He said, I can't even listen to this because I was trying to manifest that camper. He has been saying it since you said it was for sale, that he wanted it. Oh, he's storming out.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I know. We'll get another.
We'll do a commercial in a minute. So I want to tell you that right now on the Facebook feed, I see that there's a Barbara and Matthew and Kelly, and they're all saying hi. And Barbara's saying, awesome show. Thank you. So that's really cool. What a nice treat is that we can do a little more interacting. And we're supposed to be on the Discord too, but I got to tell you, I don't know how to get there. So we're going to skip that this week. And next week we will also be on Discord. But for right now, I see all of our friends over on the Facebook page, on WTHC's Facebook page. So hi everybody. It's so good to see you guys. Yes. So you manifested a buyer for your trailer.
Yes.
And I'm so happy. It was one of those things, I know that's sweet what do they call that? Like, sweet and sour,
Yeah. Yeah.
you loved your trailer, but you also knew it was time to move
Love
on.
it.
So
Yeah.
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 So that's awesome though.
So,
Congratulations.
thank you. So that was my
Yeah.
homework. Whole big long story.
Yes.
Yes, that was my homework.
Because you changed it, and we will talk about that again later. Obviously, we'll reinforce that really important
At
point
11th
of the
hour. Yes, at the
Mhm.
11th hour, something that I've been wanting to manifest.
Mhm.
Like, oh hey, and here, don't discuss it, save it for the show.
I am going to tell you mine
Yes, yes.
after
Ah,
the break. Yes. All right. So WTHC. Oh my goodness. Oh, here it is. All right. I was like, the ads aren't even up. All right. Here's one of the ads that gotta pay, gotta pay the bills, everybody.
Okay, men. This is your time.
We are still
Maybe you didn't choose this.
we
you're
are
here
still recording,
You're
and
gonna
we're
go
still
out there
on where we
And be an
are
all-star
live in other
caregiver.
places.
okay.
It's up to you.
But that's
So
for
what
the
are you gonna
radio
do?
station. We got to pay the radio station
You gotta
bills.
go
That way.
grocery shopping. Cook, clean. Be there
It's
emotionally
very
and
loud
physically.
though. I got to
You
figure out how to
dig
turn that
deeper.
down a little bit, I think.
Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't forget about
Oh,
the pharmacy.
I did it.
Ooh.
Because
All right.
that's what caregivers do.
So I think that that's really going well. I think that all
This
that-
is your time.
this was a good start.
Show the world your
Oh,
family
I can't hear you back with
and
this.
yourself.
Oh,
Tougher than tough.
no, I said I'm sharing it all back out.
Okay, yeah, you go ahead and share it. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
great idea.
share.
That's I shared it to the Perfect Positivity page.
Good, good, good.
Or I shared it to my personal page. I'm not quite sure.
I think I shared it to my I definitely shared it to my page. And then I have my assistant
Oh, I see. Yes.
here. She
Yeah,
wants,
she's gonna be famous.
yeah, she wants.
You're gonna be the show where the guy talks and the cat's on him.
Any-
Oh, is that the show with the cat?
That's
The
the show
cat.
with the
People
cat?
are talking, but what's the cat doing?
with the cat? Yeah. No, don't show your butt. You gotta be a lady.
Ah, Shay and Joe are posting us up on TikTok, I think, which is
Oh, good. Thank
awesome. It's so nice that so many people do so many nice things for us.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, the blessings are coming from all over the place.
And that's what we want. That's really what the show really is about. We
Yeah,
want-
yeah, anyone who could
people-
share.
Please post your stories when we forward it out. Please post your stories. Post what you're requesting. If something feels stuck to you, let us please help you. Let us please help you try to attract it in a more positive way or a more law of attraction way. Let us try to get it.
All
for you.
right, we are
back.
back. WTHC. I'm so sorry. I should have told you that the commercial was wrapping up, but I think what you were saying is still really valuable. So go ahead and you can say it again.
So, to anyone listening, please post on the Perfect Positivity Show Facebook page, on our TikTok, on everything. Email us your stories. How did something come to fruition? How did it come about for you? What did you do? What did you say? What did you dream of? What did you write down? Did you do a vision board? What did you do? And conversely, anyone that's trying to attract something, some people that feel stuck, people that feel that they can't quite get over that to something that they want, please let us know, and we'll try to work through it. We'll try to, because
Yeah.
you're trying to get through something. It's like being back at school. If you want to ask a question, guaranteed someone else in the class wants to ask the same question. So Let us-
So you were saying how? Hold on a second. Join voice. Nope. I was trying to find Lori because Lori had manifested something this week and she told me she would share it, but I don't know how to find her.
you
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to find her. I'm so sorry, Lori. I told her, I'm like, I'm gonna bring you on, and she's like, all right, sounds good. I don't know how to bring her on. Maybe if Hippie comes in a little bit, but so sorry about making that big loud clicking noise. I don't know if you guys had gotten it on the air, but yeah, I think that is what I want to do with this show 100% is just hear and learn all these different methods and all these different things. I had a friend today tell me he had said all these different paths all go to the same thing. So maybe some people are doing it this way, and some people are, whether they're manifesting it or they're studying it or they're using their techniques. But in the end, all of these different ways to practice spirituality, pretty much all go to the same core end, is that we were put on this planet to be happy souls, to have happiness. And so, I want to learn about how everybody else practices this, and how it is they learned it, where they learned it from, because I kind of think I'm a young soul and I just want to hear everyone's story. I'm so excited to hear about everybody's, and also anything I learn, I'm so excited with it. I'm like, let me just share it with you right away. I need to tell somebody, which is funny because I also love Esther. She's my fave too. And that's why you and I talk about it constantly. But she always kind of says, and then don't tell anybody, because other people might not think, you don't want that negative, like, oh, really? Did you talk to your inner spirit about it? And she's like, instead of getting that negative vibe from it, don't tell anybody. Just sit there and show them by what you're manifesting, by the things you're manifesting. But I think my soul's young, and I think my soul's young. And I just want to tell everybody, I'm like, guess what I did? I manifested this thing. I had this experience. So I think with the show, for me, some of the things this week for me was I created a new friend, Shay, who I was friendly with. I knew her from Hippie Show, but she started coming up with all these ideas for the show and just sending them to me. And she was like, hey, did you ever think of this? And did you ever, and it just all was like amazing. So that was one thing. I needed to handle something here at home. I needed to take care of something here at home, and I just didn't know how it was going to happen. I didn't know how I was going to do it. And it was you and I spoke about it briefly, and I was overwhelmed, and I was like, I don't want to be overwhelmed by it. I'm going to go sit outside. And I went outside, and instead of focusing on the lack, I just focused on what a beautiful day it was, and the sun was hitting my skin. And I said, I know I can figure this out. And it resolved itself in minutes. It was like somebody messaged me and said, I have this thing. Do you want it? Yes. That's what I was looking for. And hey, I can bring it to you. Okay, great. I don't have to even go anywhere.
Right.
And it was just all the things fell into place. And I can't give all the details on it. It's kind of a personal thing.
Yeah.
But it came together so easily after I let it go and I stopped trying to micromanage it and make it happen. When I just let it kind of go out there, it was like, oh, this is all going to work. And I will tell you, I have a third one. I have a third manifestation from this week, because I manifest all day long, every day. So it is what it is.
When you're good, yes. When you're in, yes, the swing.
The third one I had was I was stressing out. I've been trying to throw my son a graduation party. My son graduates in a month. And I've been trying to work out the details to this kid's graduation. And I'm like, all right, we're going to do this party, and it's going to be this way, and it's going to be this organized. And it was not working. It was pissing him off. It was upsetting his girl. It was upsetting my husband. I was stuck in, this is what a graduation party should look like, and this is how it should be.
Yeah.
It was like an ego thing. I didn't think that, but that's how I thought it should be. And they were all like coming at like, no. And I kind of got a little upset for a minute, like honestly, I was like, oh, I just want to throw this nice thing for my kid. I just want him to have this experience. I had a graduation party and my daughter had a graduation party, and I just want to give my son a graduation party. And I, had this vision in my head. And then I spoke to my brother-in-law, and my brother-in-law's like, oh, I'm not really able to come out that day anyway. And I was like, all right. And he goes, why don't you throw something here? And I went, oh, yeah. And I asked my son, I said, would you like to go out on Long Island and have a party there? And he was like, oh, yeah, that's so much better. Like, I could see the relief on his face. He was like, I would love that. I would love to just go to the beach. We'll just go up to the beach and, we'll have like a family party at the beach that day up at the bay. And I was like, okay, that's going to save me $75 that I was going to rent that hole. I don't have to rent anything here. We're at the beach. We are at the beach for free. Right. And my family, they were going to have to drive here 2 hours to turn around, drive home. But my family has a place to stay there, so I can have them, go out there. And my brother-in-law, same thing, was going to have to stay here at our house. And my brother-in-law can go stay at his own house because he lives right near there. And it's all going to work out really, really well going to Long Island. And I went, oh. And my son was like, oh, because I think he was stressed because he didn't really want to have it here.
Yeah.
You know, where he has more friends out there. You know, it is what it is. And so we're gonna switch it all around, and it all came together. So sometimes you think of manifesting like, I'm going to get money, I'm going to get a lover, but sometimes it is these little things like, we came up with a solution for something that was stressing me out that's going to be so much easier, and it makes my son happier. We're still going to celebrate his graduation. It's just not going to be at the township gazebo,
Right.
which is where I thought it should be. It should be at the township gazebo. I should order catering, blah blah blah. I'm going to end up ordering from the burrito place out in Long Island. Everyone will be happy because the food is fantastic there, and we're going to have a great time.
Yeah.
It's going to be a win-win-win. So I say all of this because it's been a good week. It's been a good week of coming up with of picking and choosing. Instead of me worrying about the lack, instead I've been going, oh, I love that. I love the color of that. Oh, I'm so happy that I got to see that color because it gives me ideas that when I'm ready for a new car, I'm getting the blue Bronco, I think. It's the blue one. You know, and instead of me sitting there going like, oh my goodness, I need, I don't feel that way anymore. Now I'm just kind of going, okay, when this stuff comes, it comes. And I'm so excited because it's going to come when I need it. And in the meantime, I'm just going to pick the things I really like and appreciate them and think that looks nice.
Yep. Well, what's need? Need says, I don't have it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have it. I am missing something. I'm lacking something.
Yeah.
Right. And then the other thing, because you and I spoke about this, is our job is not to decide how what we want is going to come to us.
Right.
Is to let the universe know, is to let whatever your God is, to let whatever know, this is what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Launch the rocket. This is what I want.
Yes.
We say, but I want it this way, and I want it that way, and I want it, and then we're reintroducing resistance again. How it comes to us is not up to us. It's up to the energy that created the entire universe to create our wants. You know, because the universe is going to move people, circumstances, and events to get us what it is that we requested. And once you took out I need, and started focusing on things that you enjoy,
yes,
your focus became enjoy. And what came? A big, huge party that's going to kick off. Everyone's going to enjoy.
It's going to cost me less money and make my kid happier, and it's going to be easier on me because the other version, I was going to be buying decorations. I was going to be cleaning my house. I was going to be doing this one. I literally would just go to the beach. We're all going to meet there. We're going to celebrate him at the beach. I mean, who doesn't want to do that? I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to let me know. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you're invited. Definitely. So, yeah. So this kind of leads right into, this is so funny how it all leads together because I changed how I was thinking about it. I changed the verbiage, the scripting in my head. I'm a huge scripter. I pre-think everything. I overthink everything, but I have now turned that into, okay, I see it that way, but how can I make it better? How can I make it and more? And then I rethink the same thought with the outcome I want. And that's been helping. And it goes right along with the dropping the word but. So I know you just mentioned it, but let's reinforce it. Let's talk about it again.
Yes.
So go ahead.
Right. All right. So yes.
All you.
a lot of times when we say, I want, people may be looking for a job. I want this job, but I want these hours and I want blah, blah, blah. And I want this amount of pay and I want, which is great. You know what you want, but rephrase it. I am so happy and grateful that I found a job that pays me XYZ. I am so happy and grateful that, you know, I am employed in this field, you know, and once we, no, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think you have to find the right blend of the, I think a lot about the teachings of being, you want to be specific, but you also want to leave some stuff. Like if you get too specific, you get caught up in it and you can never find the perfect thing.
Right.
Whereas if you leave some of these details, you say, hey, listen, I would prefer this.
Yeah.
And you leave them up in the air. I prefer hours in the morning.
Yeah.
I prefer it.
Not for nothing, but the universe already knows exactly what you want. You've already thought about it. The universe already knows. So, make it as general as possible. Let the energy go free flowing.
It allows for it to come back to you with something that here's what you wanted, but here's how it's even better.
Right.
And it's like, I know they often talk about this on other places. So now we're going to talk about it too. The boyfriend, lover, girlfriend, person you're looking for, significant other search. If you go, oh my gosh, I love this person and they don't really love me back yet, but I love them and I want to figure out how to love them. They're like, you're never going to do that. Now, if you say, I love a person who's funny and a person who's very, very, whatever your criteria is, they have a very good education. I like somebody who's a hard worker. I like whatever it is you find about them. And you put those things out there. If it turns out that, are you hearing other voices?
Yeah.
Me too. I got to figure out why I'm hearing other voices.
And I didn't take my No, I'm kidding.
Oh, because Lori's here.
Hi.
All right. So
we got to figure out how to get her.
Lori, unmute yourself. All right. She said, hold on. All right. So Lori made it. She's in the Discord. I guess I made us in the Discord and I thought I didn't, but maybe I did. I manifested Lori. That's it. I'm taking credit. But she is still muted, so she'll unmute in a second. She had to go handle something. I think her puppies.
Okay.
But anyway, so back to what we were talking about. Oh, now I don't even know. What were we talking about, Thomas? On WTHC and YouTube and Facebook. We were up.
I'm not sure. And that's okay.
That is okay. My friend Lori is back. Lori, you want to tell us what you manifested this week?
Hello. Yes.
Hi.
I had a friend that I really wanted to see, but there was a possibility that he might not be able to come. And so I just kept manifesting him not to be in trouble. And then I manifested, please just let me see him. Please just let me see him.
Okay.
And the next thing I know, I get a phone call. He's on his way. And then I was wanting something kind of personal. And I had to decide, do I need it or do I want it? And I realized it was a want, not a need. So I was like, well, if I get it, great. If not, it's all right.
Okay.
But
you changed your vibe about it. You didn't sit there and beg for it. Yeah.
And then it's kind of in a financial state for like a day.
Okay.
And next thing I know, here's a check in the mail.
Excellent.
Yay! I'm gonna. I got to figure out how to make Lori's volume and Thomas's volume match because Thomas's volume is low.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. You got little ones. All right. She just put us back on mute, but she is listening. She's just got little ones and stuff.
So let's unpack what she did. So she even said, she was like, she changed from need to want. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with that. So let's even unpack that even further. There is nothing wrong with saying, I want XYZ. I want a different relationship. I want a new TV. I want a new car. I want a different place to live. I want a new car. I want whatever.
Recognizing what you want is step one in manifestation.
Wonderful thing. It is a wonderful thing. Because why is it a wonderful thing? Because it allows you the opportunity to discover what makes you you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And also what you don't want is totally appropriate too. Like, I like this. I'm not interested in that. I don't want to live Like I don't
And-
want to live on a farm as much as I love
farms. But now,
Yeah.
all right, so I don't want to live on a farm. Me personally, I have no idea how to farm. I'd be a complete failure on a farm. So let's just say I lived in a place, or let's just say I was dating someone that was just terrible, absolutely terrible. So when people date other people that are absolutely terrible, all right, fine. I had a horrible relationship. You could look at it that way, or you could flip it and say you had a contrasting experience affording you the opportunity to truly decipher, truly discern what it is I look for in a relationship.
absolutely.
I hated where I lived. You had a contrasting experience that allowed you the opportunity to truly appreciate what it is you want in life, what it is you want to look at day
It
to day.
really can help you find peace in those things too. I will tell you from personal experience that I was very unhappy when I lived in North Carolina.
Mm.
I did not feel like I clicked. I didn't feel like I wasn't happy there. And it made me appreciate so many things that I didn't know I loved and I didn't know I was going to miss about this area. And all of a sudden I was like, hey, you know what I miss? I miss snow. That was a good one. I miss seasons. North Carolina didn't have as many seasons as New Jersey and New York
Right.
did.
I appreciate snow.
I appreciate snow. I appreciate snow days. I
Yeah.
appreciate being able to drive in
love-
the snow because it did snow one day down there and no one drove.
Yeah.
But
You love-
it
I don't like snow. You love snow.
I do love snow. I also though took from it that that next part, I don't hate North Carolina anymore. I when I left there, I was bitter. I was like, oh God, I'm so thankful to be out of that place. But what I learned is there were so many things that I did enjoy. Now that I'm not there, I went, oh, you know, I did like this. I did have this handful of good friends. I did have, and guess what? Those handful of good friends, they call me. We're on Facebook. We chat now. I connect with them, so I still get to have them in my life. And those few little things that, listen, I love biscuits, man. There were some foods I liked in North Carolina.
Okay.
The chubby girl comes out. It's true though. It's true.
I went to Tennessee. I thought I was in heaven.
Yes, there's some foods in the South. But they did not have tailored ham / pork roll. And I gotta tell you, I'm a New Jersey girl, and you know, I spent more of my life probably in North Carolina and more of my life in Pennsylvania at this point than I actually did in I've lived in Pennsylvania longer than I lived in Jersey probably right now. But you know right away, because I'm like, I need a pork roll, egg and cheese now. Like, so everybody knows where I'm from immediately. They're all like, oh, you're from Jersey? I'm like, yes. Can you get that for me though? Get me the sandwich. So I manifest those all the time. But yeah. So Lori, one thing I have to tell you that worried me was when you said, I was saying, don't get in trouble. Don't get in trouble. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I hope that didn't lead him into trouble. But then you changed your manifestation into, I just need to see him. I just want to, you know, see him. And
Right.
I just, this goes in with our topic tonight is, trying to stay away from those negatives, because it actually doesn't, the negatives, it's okay to recognize, I don't want this thing to happen. I don't want my house to be red. I want my house to be green. But,
Whatever. Right. Yeah.
but you have to say, oh, I'm just so happy and grateful my house is green, or I'm so happy and grateful he got to me safely, or my friend's coming to visit me, and focus on that part. Don't focus on the other part. It's so hard because it's such a natural instinct. I don't want to say it's hard, but whatever.
We're
That's
trained
the
to
reality.
do it. No, we're trained to do it.
We're trained to do it in our lives. We're trained to say, oh, I hope I don't get sick. I hope I don't have cancer.
Oh, faith. I get it. However,
That's great.
you know, yeah. The universe.
But it's better to say,
here, don't.
I am so thankful I'm healthy.
Right.
I think I'm having trouble hearing you. I'm going to try to turn you up a little bit more. Try talking now.
Are you there? Can you hear
Oh,
me?
I'm sorry. I was shaking my head. I was
Oh,
still
there you
muted.
are. Oh, me. Oh, all right.
But now I completely agree.
Lori's still
And-
here, but I would.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
On some level, she flipped it and said she
Um,
started.
one of the biggest things I had to learn before I could start doing any manifestations is don't sweat the small stuff, because in the end, it's all small stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And once I kind of got over that little loop, then I was like, okay, this is what I'd like to see. Let's see what happens. And like, I was surprised. Yeah, thank you. I was surprised at how different things were when I started looking at it more positively than, well, it is what it is.
Doesn't that make the hugest difference?
Yeah.
It really does. Lori, thank you so much. That was awesome. That's exactly what we're talking about. That you just knew exactly, well, that's how the universe works. Guys, it's exactly where we need to be, but that's exactly it.
Yeah.
It's how you look at it. It's, like this situation, it all goes back to what you said last week, Thomas, about it being 200 feet in front of you. As long as you can see the 200 feet in front of you, you're going to get to California.
Yeah.
I hope everyone listened last week or you have no idea what I'm talking about.
So there's an
I know
example.
what you're talking about. I listened last week.
Thanks, Lori.
Thank you, Lori. Yes.
I'm there with you.
Yes. You can get in your car in the middle of the night and drive from, say, New York all the way to California in the middle of the night using nothing but the headlights on your car. And all we ever need is just the next 200 feet. That's it. It's all we ever need. We don't need to know the weather. We don't need to know what the road closures are in California when we leave New York. We don't need it. We don't need it. We're not there yet. We need 200 feet and then 200 feet more and 200 feet more. That's how manifestation works. That's how our lives work. And
so it's okay to say, hey, I want that big thing. Like I envision a house. Yeah. My only details in this house, it could be the house I'm in now. Like, it's not about the house. It's about this grand deck and this feeling I get when I think about it of us sitting on the deck, having a drink, having a cup of coffee. And I do have a little deck area that I have a good vibe. I actually decorated it today. I worked on it a little bit today. So making that my little space. But when I have this visualization is of this grand deck. And so whether it's going to be at this home or at a future home, this deck I know it's coming to me. Yeah. And that's a big thing. I also put that on the back burner. I don't sit there and fixate on it. Sometimes if I'm at like a Lowe's or something, I'm like, that's nice decking.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
Right.
But I don't go crazy. I don't sit there and go, how am I going to get this deck? Because I know that'll push this deck away from me.
That's not up to you. How you're going to get it is up to you. Not up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Not up to you.
And that even happened this week with money. I had some money stuff coming up. I knew I had some money stuff coming up and I was going, and I went into should I sell something? I do this. It's just a natural instinct. Should I sell something? Should I do something? Can I pick up a side job? Can I pick up? And then I went, I'll figure it out. I'm not worried about it. And guess what? I had enough money for everything I needed. It was like literally boom, 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 all there. Yeah, so I'm glad Lori got to jump in with us earlier, tonight. That was awesome. That was a nice treat. And we can do that with other people in the future too. And when we have somebody who asks a question, we can just answer it on the show. Or, we can bring you on for a short segment as well, maybe more smoothly. Lori luckily knows how this all works because she has worked with my husband a few times on his show. So luckily she was able to jump in. And I thank you so much for that. But as for us, practicing our words and our scripts is really, really just the most important thing. And how you're putting it out there and how you're asking. So, we were both raised Catholic. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, we're taught to pray. Praying's not a bad thing. It's a wonderful thing. Mm-hmm. I find peace in it. I still find peace in it. I find, meditation and doing the rosary to me are very similar things. So if you sit and do the rosary, when I was a kid, I would sit and do the rosary. And I realized now that was probably how I was meditating. And I didn't call it the same thing, but I did the rosary all the time.
Yeah. Becoming still. And
it was because I could sit there and just focus on that one thing. And I was focusing on those words. And I wasn't focusing on what the words meant or anything like that. I was just focusing on remembering the prayer. And I think that was my first meditation practices. And I just didn't call them that,
Well,
And I
do you
think,
know? As a kid, do you know?
yeah,
You don't know. Do you know? You know.
it's so funny. Yeah. Another one, I was outside today and I felt the sun on my face and I thought, took a deep breath and I felt that sun on my face and I was just like, I went into an instant relaxation and I thought, I wonder if people who are sunbathing know they're meditating.
Right.
Because that's what you're doing. When you are laying there in the sun for all those hours and you are you're quiet, you're not
quieting
talking,
down.
you're not sleeping,
Quiet.
you're just quieting your brain. You're feeling the heat.
Sitting in a window, sitting in your favorite chair,
Yes.
watching the rain, listening to the rain.
Mhm.
I love that.
Mhm.
I love that.
Yeah, and I didn't used to call that meditation. I just called it sunbathing.
Yeah.
And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, oh my gosh, I was meditating. I kept saying I can't meditate. Well, when I sit there and think meditate, it's harder to meditate.
Yeah.
When I sit there and think, oh, the sun's nice today, and then I start to clear my brain because I'm just thinking I can hear the ocean and I can hear the seagull. That's meditating. When you're sitting, like you said, in the window and you're letting the sun hit you. I think the sun is a very good helper in the meditation world. That's why a lot of people say go out into nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, so that really can help you kind of connect with, some people will call it your intuition, your inner voice, and it helps you to kind of make the right choices. What is it I want?
Right.
Do I want to worry about my decking, which I will start worrying about a little bit now because we've talked about it so much tonight? Or do I need to, not need to, but will I be focusing more on just the joy, the way it makes me feel? And I know that that's what we should be doing. And I hope that that's something we can focus on in a future show for us is raising that vibration, getting that positive feel. Like, how do you get yourself
to that? Yeah. How do you get yourself to that?
When you don't have it right now? I go, I don't have that car of my dreams. I don't have that. How do you feel grateful for something that's not in your hands?
You know what? Let's touch on it.
Well, let's touch on it. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
After the break.
Let's do a break and then we'll touch on it.
All right. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I was ready for the break because I will be someday.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute.
I can't make it so that
Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
I can't make it so that I can hear you over the commercial. Okay.
When you help care,
we got to pay the piper.
Yes.
As much time
you gotta pay for the show.
We got to pay for the show.
But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you. You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the
dings in and dings out. Is that people entering Discord and stuff?
That is Discord. I would love to figure out how to shut that.
Everyone did this weekend. Jill?
Maybe.
Well, I raised my older sister to a big oak tree. It was at least 100 years old.
But I don't want
My
to
mom
cut
said,
them
"Must have
out.
said it
I
right."
want them to be able to hear.
And then we went
That's how
down
they're
by a
listening.
stream
No, that's good.
Huge
Yeah.
rock. And saw all
And the
these
last one who
little
just came in is
minnows
Shay,
swimming
and
around way
we
below
were
us.
just saying how
And
much
then I rescued my little
gratitude
brother
we
from
have for her
a
and
hideous
thankfulness
slug king
because
who
she's
was guarding
helped
him with
finding
bush
us
torches. And my sister
guests
fired
and
back
stuff.
to
She's
our silver
amazing.
twig for safety. And then we all laid out.
So
and
can you
explored
see
until it got dark.
people's
And the
questions and
was
whatnot on
always
Discord?
If somebody put a
Where
question
were
on
you, Jill?
Discord, I could, I
We went
think,
to the
but
forest.
I don't see any
It's not that
chat.
far away.
I just see
Anyone
pictures of
wanna
their
come this
faces.
weekend?
If they write it on
Ask your parents to
Facebook,
take you
I
and your friends to
can
the
see
forest
it.
this week and find the fun, adventurous
If
you.
they write it
It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org.
during these commercials, I
Brought to
guess
you
that's
by
what we
the
should
US
do is we
Forest
should be
Service and
checking.
the Ad Council.
Let me see. Yeah, if
Oh,
what is
hold on.
chit chat room?
I think we're dead aired. Hold on. Or we're live on WTHC. We were dead air for a second because I am still having a little bit of technical learning, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
We're getting there.
We are. It was only for a few seconds. I probably am more aware than the radio people are aware. So, hello.
We're figuring it out. Yes.
All right. So, welcome back to the Perfect Positivity Show. If you're listening on the radio, if you are watching us on a live stream, then you're just like, I don't know why they stopped talking and why there was this loud commercial blast. But we have to pay the bills on the radio show, and that's how we do it. So we were just checking to see if we had any more questions or comments. Wait, you can actually hear me on that one. So yeah, so some people were asking, they're trying to all connect with each other on the Facebook page, which is really cool that everybody wants to connect with each other and become friends, because that's something that you and I have both talked about too, is how we're attracting more positive people, and we're attracting people into our lives. And you were saying how, like, at your job, you had some people, you're constantly working with new different people.
Yes.
And then the other day you said to me, I have just been working with the best people every day. Yeah. And it's like, you have such a, you usually have different people all the time. And so you've been attracting the right people.
Yes. And so, yes, I'm also looking for our page on Facebook, but I can't find it. So at some point you're going to have to forward that over to me. Oh, wait.
Okay.
There it is. There it is. You have seashells on the page?
Yes, I put seashells there until I have a picture of you and I.
Beautiful. Okay, good.
Maybe after this, when we're done doing this, maybe we'll pose for a picture together.
Okay.
Like it could be on the screen. We'll pose for a real one when we're together.
Next few weeks, but. So yes, so I am a registered nurse, and where I work, there's a second nurse that always comes into my office to work. So depending on the day, it's a different nurse. Almost every other day, it's unlikely, or I should say, previously it was unlikely that I would get the same nurse day after day after day. So again, law of attraction, I am so happy and grateful for wonderful nurses, and I am so happy and grateful for competent nurses. I'm so happy and grateful for personable nurses, and to work with friendly people and wonderful people. And the last few nurses that have shown up have just been absolutely wonderful. You know, one of them so much so that we threw him a birthday party, an office birthday party.
Oh, how cool!
Yeah, he doesn't even work there. He doesn't even officially work there. He's just great. You know.
But you made that connection when you have people that just click with you. Why not throw a party?
Yep.
Because why are we on this planet? To have fun.
Have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. To just enjoy life.
Right. And so getting back to where we left off before the break, so I was in this state of being where it's, oh my gosh, every day it's this one's falling asleep, and this one is, it's not standard nursing practice. This one wants to wear gloves all day. This one is, she doesn't want to do anything. This one doesn't want to do anything. And so how do we get to a place when we don't currently feel it, when we're not in the place that we want to feel? How do we get from what we're thinking about, what we want, from where we currently are, if where we currently are is in a quote unquote negative space? The whole fake it till you make it theme has some credence to this.
It's a mixed bag. Go on.
Mixed bag. You have to, and I do mean have to. You have to focus on what you are happy about, because there are positives in our lives. What am I happy? It might have nothing to do with what I'm. So let's just say I was working with terrible people day in and day out. But you know what? That one trip to Maine, I've never been to Maine, but I'm just using an example. That one trip, that was incredible. I really had a good time on that trip to Maine. You know what? When we went to that movie with so-and-so and so-and-so, that was a good time. The love of a pet. Oh, I love this dog. I love this cat. I love this turtle. I love this. I have beautiful kids. I have beautiful nieces and nephews. I have beautiful, you have to pull from your resources, and there's resources all around you. And once you shift the focus from where you were, which is that terrible working environment, to, but I love reading. I love these colors. I love looking at whatever it is, looking at Tiffany lamps. I love, because that came up yesterday actually. I love going to the beach with people. I truly enjoy that. I prefer meeting up with people that talk about how wonderful things are. I truly enjoy soft pillows. I truly enjoy soft blanket. Whatever it is to get you back on that spinning wheel,
Yes.
so to speak. Whatever you need to do. So music is a biggie for me. One of the things I always use is music. And one of the songs I almost always use to jumpstart me feeling better about anything is, please don't make fun of me, it's Shiny Happy People by REM. When REM
How could we make fun of you? That's a great song.
Of that face, I thought you didn't know that song. I was like,
No, I played it last week. You forgot already. No, I wanted to play it last week. I couldn't get it to come up, I think.
Yeah. There's just no way to be unhappy when listening to that song. There's no way possible. Use whatever, color a book. Go to the 99-cent store. Go get crayons. $99 crayons and a 99-cent book. Go color.
What? As much as people say, oh, the negative is where people always want to focus. Let's face it. Let's go through a quick list.
And
Don't worry, be happy. How many times do you love that song?
Right.
And
why do we focus on the negative? Which we said this earlier. Because as humans, we're problem focused. We want to problem solve. We want to problem solve. We want to problem solve. Why don't we solution solve? Why aren't we solution
based
instead of problem oriented?
Yeah, let's not worry about the problem. Let's offer a bunch of solutions,
because
and you can find your way there.
Solution anyway. Yeah, we have to get there anyway. We got to get to the solution no matter what it is. We got to get there anyway.
I see. Veronica's listening while she cleans, so she's problem solved. She had some cleaning to do, but she still wanted to pay attention, so she plopped this on. I like it.
Yep.
And JB is there. Hi, JB and Joe.
JB.
So we had a bunch more people that are just listening now. It's great. And I see Shay's on over here. I'm trying to wave to her, but I don't. This camera's a little set a little too close to me. So, yeah. So absolutely what you just said, and it kind of ties in with something you and I had talked about this as a topic for tonight, and it was my old infinity to gossip. I am not going to lie. I used to love some town tea. If somebody was like, hey, did you hear? I was like, hear what? What are you talking about? And I didn't like who I was when I was doing that. Like I would get a little excited and I wanted to hear it, but I didn't like, I was never one to celebrate when somebody was having something bad happen. So I started to think about that and I said, this is not really what I like. I like to be included in the conversation. I like it when friends get together and chat. So that part of it is what I liked. Ooh, sorry, microphone. That was the part of it I liked. But I did not
talk. Yeah.
Right. I like the gathering of friends. I'm a social being. But I did not like the way I felt when people would be celebrating something bad. Did you hear so and so karma? And I was like, ew, like, I don't want to be part of this. How do I keep these friends, keep this good part where we get together, but I don't participate in this other part? So my first step was I started to kind of not be too much of a Debbie Downer, but bring some light to it. So what would happen is somebody would say, oh, did you hear? This happened. And I went, oh no, what can we do to help them? I just immediately went into, do you think we could can we do one of those food trains? Why don't we do a food train? And it suddenly turned from this like, did you hear so-and-so's losing their house to maybe we could bring them some boxes and see if we could help. And everybody was like, oh, okay. And I didn't know if it was going to end me up with me being kicked from the little crew. It didn't. It ended up with me like the shift in the crew. And that's the point of me telling the story. Is that my one person, I love her. But I stopped talking to her as much because I found every time I talked to her, it was, her telling me about this one's sick and this one's this and this one's that. And I didn't want to keep that up. And the other day I checked in with her and she said to me, my kids had said that they think I could manifest stuff and I could be a little more positive. And I said, I think you can manifest stuff too. Like, I think that you actually manifest a lot of great things around here. You manifested that sign on your corner because she's like all about activism in the township. And you manifested this and you made that happen. She's like, yeah. I said, you have to really think positively. When you have that instinct that you want to tell me what's going on with your neighbor and how they're driving you crazy, you have to relook at it and think about how the things you like about your neighbor or things you'd like about a future neighbor that's going to replace them. And she went, because she has one neighbor that does need to be replaced.
But it's not the neighbor that controls her life.
Yes. Yeah. And that was more of a joke, but
like, it's not the job that controls your life. It's not.
Yes. Yes. If you don't like this thing, then focus on the stuff you do like, the stuff something that you'd like to do that's different. And guess what? She actually is having a shift in that neighbor. That's kind of why I said it. So that neighbor's going to rent their house out to somebody else. And I said, I hope you have the best new neighbor in the world. She's like, me too. I can't wait. So it's just about how you look at it. And so these particular friends I was thinking about, I kind of was cutting off the gossip and it was changing how our relationship was. And it really turned a lot of things positive. And I was friends with them. I've been friends with them for about 8 years. And this is a brand new shift. And I feel like not only am I attracting new people, new friends that are really positive, but now I have some other friends and I'm modifying our connection. So I think that's really, really good.
It is. And if you remember, because we're both, I have to get back to it, but I know I got you into the book, The Celestine Prophecy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just told somebody else about it today. Shay, was that you? I did. So she shook her head. Yes. Okay. For those people who aren't on the Discord. Yeah.
Okay. So I forget what chapter it is, but in one of the chapters, because you finished it, right?
Oh, I finished it. Yeah.
But yeah. Because I have to reread it.
I only told her about it today, but I finished it.
In one of the chapters, so what you were talking about, like when people gossip, it's what's crudely called, like, say, like an energy vampire, an energy sucker, an energy, like they zap your energy. Do you ever, because anyone listening, do you ever talk to someone or be in a room with someone and all of a sudden you just feel icky, you just feel drained, you feel gross or just being around someone or talking to someone, they just suck the energy right out of you. Okay, yes. Here's why. So I highly recommend reading The Celestine Prophecy to explore why that is. That's one. James Redfield is the author. Two, I forget the chapter, but one of the chapters goes into the 4 types of people that suck the energy out of us. The 4 types are the intimidator, the interrogator. So the intimidator wants to intimidate you and get in your face and kind of get your energy that way. The interrogator is going to ask you a million questions and they kind of trap you with feeling like you have to answer. Then you have the person that's aloof. They're the ones always in the corner. They make you kind of go over to them. And then you have the woe is me, the complainers. And the gossipers kind of fall into the woe is me, the complainer category. A little bit. And that's how they
can.
And that's how they get you. How they get you.
So I love it. I love that you were able to make that connection. I'm going to tell you, I read the book, obviously, just a few weeks ago, and I've loved it. And I keep telling people to read it, but I didn't make those connections. And I'm so glad that because then you said it and I went, oh yeah, I totally understand what you're talking about. And I made those connections. I did make a TikTok and say, hey, other people read this book and tell me what you think about it for TikTok book club, book club. I did a dance. That was my dance. But I don't know. I haven't had anybody else read it yet. So anybody who reads it, first of all, I listened to it for free on YouTube. Yes. It was a 9-hour. I'm a listener. I'm less of a reader, more of a listener.
Right.
I listened to it in one day and the next morning. I listened to it for the whole day. It was so good as I went about my day doing everything else, I just was like listening.
Yeah.
The guy who reads it is not the most animated guy in the world. It doesn't
No.
matter. It's such a good
Very
book
slow.
that you're like,
Slow.
oh my goodness. It is a
Yes.
novel, but it's a novel to tell a story of our interconnection.
Yeah.
So
How
even though
energy-
it's a novel, it just talks about, and it's funny, what I was talking to her about earlier today about it was we were talking about the part of the book where they talk about sending the positive vibes to the vegetables and to the plants and how the plants were growing better. And I have a crazy green thumb. It comes from nothing. My dad gardened a little bit. My dad also has a crazy green thumb, but we were not like out there reading gardening magazine. We were not doing gardening stuff. As a matter of fact, my dad and I probably had the same philosophy where we go to like the farm market or Lowe's for that matter, and we're like, that looks like a good plant. I'll plant that, and then I plant it. But I kind of always felt like I think about the plant and I'm watering the plant, and I have no instructions on this plant. Before the internet, now I have instructions. There's the internet. Pre-internet, I would just look at the plant and go, all right, I guess you put it in some soil and you water it. And my plants would always do so great. And then I would kind of like later be like, oh, you're not supposed to water that once a week. You're supposed to water it every day. Mine's been doing great. And I think it was because of the energy. I was like focused on it. I was talking to it. Some people talk to your plants, sing to your plants, play music for your plants.
I talk to my plants all the time.
I
Yeah.
talk to they're my kids. Sorry, kids that are
Yeah.
realistic life kids. I have other kids. I have like 35 of them around the house in the windows. And I'm like, oh, pretty spider plant. You're doing so great. Oh, look at you, succulent. I think it was that positive vibe I was putting off that was making them bloom. And now I'm, so for those of you who don't know, I'm a behavior specialist most of the time. I work with kiddos who have behavioral issues, and that's my main thing. And then I'm also a talk show host on Sunday nights here with Thomas, co-host. But I had an opportunity. My friends run a nursery, and they were like, hey, do you think you can work a couple days a week up at the nursery? And I was like, yes. Are you going to pay me to hang out where I'm going to hang anyway? And they were like, yeah. And I'm like, you're going to pay me to like talk about plants with people? They're like, yeah. Can I tell you, it is the biggest joy in my life to go and work at the nursery 2 days a week. And it's like hard labor. And my husband's like, how are you going to handle that hard labor? But when you're unloading plants from a truck and you're the first one who gets to see them, and you're like, oh, I love this one. I'm going to buy this one. I say that to every plant, by the way. Every plant at that garden center thinks I'm going to buy it. I'm like, oh, you're buying you. Oh, look at these gorgeous roses. Yeah. So look, there's every kind of tomato. So this is what I'm doing. I cannot express more how thankful I am for this little gig I have. And it's not about the money of it. It's not about, it's almost like meditation for me.
Yeah,
it's
joyful.
It's 2 days a week and listen, that job can be very stressful. I'm not dealing with doing the bookings of all the different people that need their landscaping done and things planted. I don't have to deal with most of that. So I imagine somebody who, is taking that as a career, they're not going to have the same vibe. But for me, just to have this little gig where I get to help out at the garden center, and it just makes me so happy. And I'm in there and I'm like pulling off a dead leaf off of a plant, and then I'm making sure it has enough water, and it brings me joy. Yeah. Joyful is the only word. Joyful. It makes me so happy in my heart. But that brings me back to the book, which is what I was saying, is that I think that I really feel like I am connected to these plants. I'm feeling so good about them, and I'm feeling so good about what's happening. And there was a plant that people say is really hard to root, and I didn't know that it was really hard to root. No one told me. So I just did all the stuff to root it. And guess what? I had a whole bunch of them rooted because I didn't know it was supposed to be hard to root. And guess what? I had no problem. I rooted a bunch of them, and I propagated a whole bunch more of that plant. So, when you don't know the rules and you don't know something's hard, it's not hard.
When you go into something thinking that it's going to be hard, you're going to make it harder than it is. When you
Yeah.
go into thinking that it's going to be easy, case in point. So sometimes I'll end up training nurses to do certain things, and how I always start the trainings is, all right, this is easy. I'm going to run through it, and then you're going to run through it, and this is easy. And meanwhile, it's not an easy thing. And they get it in their heads, oh my gosh, this is easy. And in a very short amount of time, they're doing whatever procedure it is. They're doing whatever's needed. They're like, that's the easiest thing in the world. And meanwhile, it's not. It really isn't. It takes a lot of focus. It takes a lot of, knowledge,
Yeah.
a lot of know-how. And, when I report back to the people that I report to, no, they got it. No, they got it. And they're like, wait, what? No, they got it. No. Yeah, they're good. Yeah, no, I have them trained in under a day. They got it. They can't understand how. No. But it's setting them up for success psychologically. No, this is going to be easy. It all goes
Absolutely.
back to, what do we focus on? Do we focus on the positive? Do we focus on the negative? The analogy, I love the analogy. A skier, does a skier focus on the trees, or does a skier focus on the trail?
Yeah.
When a skier focuses on the trees, they're going to hit the tree. When a skier focuses on the trail, they're going to get down the mountain.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wanted to say, I just saw that Ganja Lovers and Patty, the hippie, are both also on Facebook saying hi to us. So hello. I'm so excited. So many people are enjoying the show. This is what a
This is
treat.
great.
What a treat.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, before Lori found us before, we were talking about how to manifest your ideal significant other, and if that's even what you want. I know some of the spiritual leaders insist you need to have this person in your life. I think it's nice if you do. I'm lucky enough that I have a really loving spouse, you know what I mean? And that's wonderful. But I don't know that you need to. I think that it's all about what's making you happy at that moment.
It's
And
what you want. Yeah. Is it what you want? Is it not
what
what
you
you
want?
want? Do you feel like this is something that you want?
yeah. Yeah.
And that's really what it is. That's
And
really
and
what it's down to.
it was about the specifics. It was, if you sit there and you focus and go, I only want to be with this one person who we've been dating, but we just don't get to the marriage part. If you can still be in love with that person, be in love with that person. But if you start to sit there and think, I would like to have a happy marriage or a happy next part of my life where we're traveling, and where the universe will line you up with where you need to be with who you need to be
With who-
with.
When you
Yes. And so when you stop focusing, and I have to say, this is a funny story, but before I met my husband, I was kind of obsessed with meeting someone. I wanted to meet someone. And I met this other person, and this other person made me truly not want to focus on a person. He was he just wasn't the right person for me.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with this person. He just wasn't the right guy for me.
the energies just didn't click. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And it was right before Christmas, and he couldn't decide if he wanted to do Christmas presents with me and stuff. And I just kept thinking, I would just be better off alone. I would just, you know what? I'm just going to focus on making Christmas good for myself. And I kind of still
Let me
dated
interrupt-
him.
Sorry, let me interrupt you, but not for nothing, but to anyone listening, if somebody is debating whether or not they want to buy you a gift, that's usually a sign.
Yeah.
Let that be a sign.
Yeah. I didn't let that be a sign at the
You know,
time.
they-
He was definitely not the right person for me.
Yeah.
We only dated very short. Me and this guy dated so short. Like, I don't even know if any of my friends met him. It was it was ridiculously short dating. We had gone on a couple dates, and it was like this thing where it felt weird. But I'm so thankful I had him, because he made me not want to focus on dating, and I focused on just taking care of myself. And then the next person I met was my husband. Because I was not focused on dating anyone anymore. All of a sudden, I was just like, I don't want to focus on dating.
What
I'm just
you were
gonna focus.
focused on was what you appreciated in life and what you appreciated in a partner, in a person.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
what manifested was what you were appreciating, where your focus
Yeah. Yeah. That is exactly what happens. And it was like all of a sudden, and it was so much easier with him. It wasn't like I had to think about this or think about that. Like, we just kind of, our friends actually set us up. Our friends set us up, and they introduced us, and they were like, "Hey, we think you guys would be a good couple." And I swear we were like, "All right."
Yeah. Yeah.
And we met up a couple times with our other friends, and then he was like, "I guess we're dating now." And I'm like, "Sounds good to me." Like, because we did just click. We did just click. And it was so much easier because it wasn't me looking for a partner. We're a year before that, I was hyper focused with, I need to find someone, I need to get married. I'm starting to get to the age where I need to settle down. And I had this scripting. I was doing the scripting in my head again. And once I changed the script in my head and I was focusing on, and that actually brings us back to the affirmations, I think. I didn't even realize it until I just said it now. I listened to some affirmations about an hour before we went on the air today on being successful because I wanted to have a successful show.
Yeah.
And you were saying how music changes your vibe. I was listening to these affirmations and I was dancing around because they had a little bit of music to them. And it was like, I'm going to have a successful day.
Yeah.
Like it was Bob Baker. You know how Bob Bakers are. If you don't know, look Bob Baker affirmations
Bob
up on.
Baker. Look him up. Yes.
Look him up on YouTube. I love his affirmations.
Wonderful human being.
He is. He and
Really
his wife,
is.
beautiful couple.
Yeah.
And positive vibes. They really get you that good vibe. And so I listen to his affirmations most of the time in the shower, and I'm often naked with Bob, don't tell. And but I flip his one of his videos on. The videos are just pictures of the beach and stuff. They're not really anything. I don't watch the videos. I'm just listening. But today, he kind of gets his affirmations going a groove, and I start dancing around and I'm repeating them, and I don't have to hyper focus on them. I can be washing my hair, I can be washing the dishes, I can be doing something, but then I just catch myself kind of bopping along to it, I'm going to have a successful day. I'm going to have he'll go through a whole different version of one word, a successful afternoon. I'm going to have a successful lunch, Yeah. He's less boring. I always said I'm not great at doing his job. I've always declared that he is amazing. But my point is, that really helps me for the self script, because if I let myself self script, all my insecurities pop out. But if
so don't self script. What you could be doing is write it out, literally write it out.
Yes. Yeah, I know Esther always says that in her teachings.
Yeah, because when you're in your own head, you could easily, steer off course. I do it all the time. I know one of the things with the write it out is I have a date book. I have a bullet journal. And so a bullet journal is a journal, date book, everything. So I write in it my appointments, and then I write, before I even have the appointments, how I want them to turn out. Right. So yeah, that's something I've been doing it for a few months now, and it's definitely been one of the things. I guess I didn't even realize I should mention it, but now it's on paper, and now you can read it. And when you're reading it, there's no way to get it misconstrued, because you're reading the actual words. But if it's in your head and you're trying to repeat it, and then all of a sudden one word goes astray. Wait, was that how it goes? Okay, and then you're repeating it with the word astray, and then all right, and then it kind of goes off course, and then you're repeating the off course.
When I write it and I write down what I have coming up, I have this meeting. It's great. Love talking to, Laura's one of my bosses. Love talking to Laura today.
I know
I do love talking to Laura, so I always pre-up, great conversation with Laura, because I know I'm going to have a great conversation with Laura, and this way I know I'm going into it. It's going to be fantastic because I'm already in the right mode for it. I've already written it's going to be a good conversation. Right. How could it not be?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and then I keep going with that, so it's like, oh, I'm going to this meeting. Everything's going to be great at the end of it. I'm so excited. It's going to resolve this thing.
Right. Because we are resolution focused, being.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I love that. That's what I'm going to do. Oh gosh. It's already time for another commercial break.
All right. Let's do a commercial.
All right. It happens so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then really we'll have one more shorter segment, And then the wrap up, you guys. This is such a quick 2 hours every week. I mean, that's wonderful. That just means we're having fun, right?
Yeah, we're having fun. Yeah.
It does. I know that's what it means. All right. So thank you. We got to pay the bills, people.
Right now, our country feels divided.
What do you want to
but
talk
there's
about
a
in the last
place where
section?
people are coming
Let's see.
together.
I gotta tell you,
Let's
I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
well, let's turn it around. Let's see if
Love
anyone on
labels
Discord
and
has any
one small
questions
step
or
are helping
anything
people
that they want to manifest.
views, beliefs, and
I'm
life
sure one or
experiences
two
come
people out there
together
wants
through
to manifest
conversation,
something.
and it feels good.
Let's see
Wow,
how
your
we can
story
help.
is so
Interesting.
yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human
All right, I
beings.
just wrote it
At
over here on Facebook.
/onesmallstep,
I-
you
Let's
can
help
listen to
someone
amazing,
manifest.
life-changing
I'm in the
conversations
Discord, but
and find
Discord's
a
actually
safe
got
place
less
to start a
people right now. I think
conversation
there's
of
more
your
people over on the
I know one
Facebook.
thing.
All right, so
This conversation
Facebook.
gives
Yeah.
me hope.
Over
It
on
gives me
Facebook.
a
So
lot of
Facebook, if you
hope.
can hear us
Take
and
a
you're
step toward
there,
bringing our
Post something
country
you
and
wanna
your
manifest.
community
post something you
together.
want to manifest, and we'll come up with. Oh, because you know what we forgot to do? Love to do it at the end.
/onesmallstep.
Now, don't do it when
message
we
from
first come back. We'll do it at the
StoryCorps,
end, but we'll do that. I'm so happy and grateful, and we'll say something we're happy and grateful for because we're going to do it at the beginning.
People do some
We'll do it at
pretty
the
cool
end.
things in their 40s and 50s.
Yes.
Oh,
Why
Lori,
would saving
Lori's
for
on.
retirement be any different?
Do you have something you
they
wanna
go back
manifest?
college,
I can't hear
learn
you.
new instruments,
Type it out. Lori, go to the Facebook
start
page.
skateboarding.
I don't know if she can type it somewhere.
Okay, maybe
She
that
can't.
one's
She
not
says
for
no.
everybody,
Nothing to
but saving
manifest.
For retirement
She's
is.
manifester.
With
She's already got it.
ACRetirement.org, you can get on track
Got
with your
it.
retirement.
She said yeah.
savings,
She's
no
like,
matter your age.
I know how
Just
to
have a
manifest.
3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach
Fantastic.
from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back. Woohoo! Snarly
All right.
move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings
Well-
journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Why do I hear it? Why do I hear it?
That's me. That's me. No.
Okay.
Anything wrong? It's
Oh,
me.
hold on. And welcome back to WTHC Radio. And you're also on WTHC's Facebook page. We're also on the WTHC YouTube, but you can also find us on the Perfect Positivity Show's YouTube channel. And this will also be posted on the Perfect Positivity channels. I actually think it is streaming there right now on our Facebook channel. So we're in a lot of places. And if you want like a daily dose of positivity, you got to go over to the Perfect Positivity page every day. We just post a quote, something inspirational, just something cheery, something from one of our teachings. Now, we will also, I posted a video there this week of something. We'll also post the weekly homework and see how everybody's doing. But I posted somebody this past week and I said, hey, anybody who like listens to this, tell me what you think, because here's the thing. There's so many different teachings and everybody goes about it so many different ways that it all works for them.
Yeah.
It might not work for you. And if you say, hey, I listened to that, it doesn't really resonate with me because of this, I'm interested in that too. Not in a negative way, not in a like, I hated it, but like more in a, I'll give you a perfect example. We talked about Tony Robbins last week. I love Tony Robbins. Okay. I love him. He gets me psyched up.
Yeah.
I do not connect with his relationship stuff, with his feminine, masculine. It doesn't resonate with me. It's not how I was raised. My family didn't have that dynamic. And it's not how my household currently runs. That being said, I think it's great if it works for your household.
Right.
And you have that right balance that works for you guys. That's okay. That's all right. I find other teachings work for me better. And I've found a good spot for myself and my relationships and things like that in other teachings and in, the love language teachings and, different other places. And that's okay. But I get so much from Tony Robbins and his get yourself pumped up, get up and dance a little. Like that works for me. So it's okay to take a little bit from here and a little bit from there. I think everybody has to find what works for them. Oh, I know a great one is that, Thomas, you love, and you are really connected with those mantras, the mantras from the Say it.
Kundalini yoga.
Say it again because that got broken up.
Kundalini yoga. Yes.
Kundalini yoga.
Yoga.
Did I do it? Yeah. And I saw that they're doing a free class on it, and I might look at
really?
it. Yeah.
Oh, when? Where? Online?
Yeah, online. I'll send it to you.
Send me the info. Yes.
I will.
I'd love to.
Because I do have an interest, but I know you already are diving in. And I like it. I feel like when I do that one mantra that you taught me, I do feel really, really good about it. That being said, I have not been able to make it click for me where I remember to do it every day and it becomes part of my habit. I have other things that have fallen right into my habit. That one hasn't.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean it's not great and it's not a great practice. It just means it's not my practice at this moment.
Right.
It doesn't mean it won't be my practice.
It'll come around when it's supposed to come around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's just not the right time for that for me.
Yeah, it's a powerful one too. And wait, let me look at it because I always forget exactly what it means. Hang on one second.
I know that's funny. I was always looking it up too when I was trying to do it. But I think that was part of my problem is I was getting stuck in let me look up 10 things about this and read about it instead of just doing the mantra.
Yeah.
So this mantra, let me get it right. This mantra you do every single day for how many days, Thomas?
So you could do it for minimum of 40. So it's either 40, 90, 120, or 1,000.
Okay.
Okay. It's the Sa Ta Na Ma.
Okay.
Mantra.
And you have to do it for at least 3 minutes.
Yes. So minimum 3 minutes. You could do it for, wait, let me look it up because I have all the instructions. Katie gave
I actually found a ton of videos of little kids doing it because they teach it in other countries for little kids. Like they're doing it and they do it with like little hand motions and stuff that I it's adorable. And it was definitely inspirational. Not inspirational enough for me to remember to do it 40 days in a row. I would do it 10 days and then forget 3 days. And then I would do it for 7 days and forget a day. And so I just, instead of myself feeling bad about having to restart all the time, that's what I said to you. I'm taking a break for this for a little while until I'm ready again.
Yeah. So it's 3 minutes, 7, 11, 22, 31, or 62 minutes. Now, 62 is going to be a job. Okay, but 3 minutes, everyone's got 3 minutes.
Yes.
So that's what I said. I was like,
I was doing 3 minutes, just not consecutive days.
Yeah. You know, and there's a way to enter. So, where's my camera? So, Sa Ta Na Ma. Okay, Sa Ta Na Ma.
Yes.
And there's lots of YouTube videos. There's ways to, so the way my friend.
Put your hands around based on the YouTube videos.
Yeah, basically like this. Yes. So Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. Sa.
No matter what, you touch the tips of your fingers.
Yes.
Sa, Ta, Na.
And it has to do with pressure points. It has to do with reconnecting certain nerve endings. And it has to do with realigning certain.
If someone's interested in doing this, I found a YouTube video that is 3 minutes and 10 seconds long. And the 10 seconds are for the beginning and the end of the music. And they sing it for you. And I sang along with it a little bit. You know, I spoke along with it. I'm a little bit of a singer. And as I was doing it, I would sing along with it. And it really helped me. And it timed it for me.
Yeah.
So that I knew, all right, I'm done with my 3 minutes.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes quick. Yeah, it goes quick.
It does go very quick. And they had this really cool thing. As you did it with them, it progressed. You know, it started out with just her voice, and then it became her voice and the guy's voice. And then the guy started singing other lyrics with it was gorgeous. What a beautifully well done little thing. And it was 3 minutes and it was like great. And like I said, I just wasn't finding the right time yet. That being said, I know I have some life changes coming up really soon in a really great way. And some of it's going to be that I'm going to have more time in the mornings at the beach. And because I know that's coming, I might start to readdress this then. Yeah. But I don't want to keep setting myself up for failure.
Well, no, because it's a very powerful mantra because the Sa Ta Na Ma means my true essence, my true identity.
Okay.
So bringing about your true essence, your true identity, that's a biggie.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's huge. because we don't know. Now,
You're making me
what
rethink right now already, because I mean that's my whole journey is right now is who am I really supposed to be? I thought I was this one person.
Yep.
And I'm not that person. And I'm
Yep.
49. I turned 49 this week. And now I'm going, okay, I want to know who I am so I can spend the next 50 years being the person that I really am,
Right.
being true to myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so I guess this is a sign. It might be time for me to start again.
Back. It might be time to go back because it means so the Sa Ta Na Ma is infinity, life, death, rebirth. Infinity, infinity, life, death, rebirth. Infinity, life, death, rebirth. Infinity, life, death, rebirth. Infinity, life, death, rebirth. Sa Ta Na Ma. Sa Ta Na Ma. Sa Ta Na Ma. Very, very powerful. Anyone that I've known that did, and it can become a meditation. It's very, very easy.
Yes.
What they received out of it was pretty gargantuan, was pretty huge. One of my friends got multiple jobs that he needed out of it. Another friend got a contract with a company that has sustained her for years, 13 years, 18 years. The contract is still going. Sustained her for I forget what she said, either 13 or 18 years or something like that. But still has the contract, a certain contract to this day because she did that.
That's
120.
awesome.
Yeah, she did it for 120 days. It was 120 days. So
Well-
I passed my 40, I passed my 90.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so my 120, I'm on to 120. I don't know.
Oh, so let me ask you the question. You were worried that you might have messed it up. Did you mess it up, or did you get the okay that you did
Nope.
not?
I did not. So here's the thing.
Okay.
So if you skip a day, this is what Michelle's talking about. If you skip a day, that's it. The next time you do it, it starts back at day one. Oh, excuse me, day one. So if you, so let's just say you're doing it for 39 days and you skip day 40 and you do it the day after, you're back at day one. You didn't do the 40 days. So no, so I told my friend what I did. I told her how I did it. Even though it was short, she goes, no, it's still valid. You still got it in, even though. So what happened was, I was pressed for time one day, and I did it for like 60 seconds. Now, meanwhile, I'm on 11 minutes a day. I'm doing it 11 minutes a day. It was like 45 seconds or 60 seconds, and then a phone call came in that I had to absolutely take. And then I took the phone call, and then it just started, and then everything started rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. And then got home, crashed on the couch, ate a little something, crashed on the couch, woke up at like 2 a.m. I went for a drink of water, and then I flopped myself down in bed, and I'm sitting in bed, and all of a sudden I went, oh my God, I didn't do the 11 minutes. And I was like, all right, I'm not going to panic. 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 I'm just going to ask my Kundalini yoga teacher, here's what I did. Does it count? Does it not? I'm going to be okay. I'm going to make it okay. If I got to start over. And so what she said was, even though you're at 11 minutes, so what you did was you did it for about 40 seconds to a minute. So you got it in. She said, but, and this is the following day after, she's like, but if you're at 11 minutes, add, so I already did a minute the day before. She's like, add 10 minutes to your 11 to help even out the energy.
Okay.
I could do that. I said, okay, I could do that. And I did, so 20, well, it's 11 and 10, so 21 minutes. I did it for 21 minutes. Just that one, and I do two. So actually it was 21, 32. I actually had to do it for 32 because I do another mantra for 11 minutes.
Yes,
I do Sanama for 11 minutes. I do another mantra for 11 minutes. So I'm 22 minutes.
Well, I think is Katie the instructor of that?
Yeah, Katie, yeah.
So someday we'll see if Katie can do like a half hour with us.
Yeah, she'll
Tell
teach
her it's a half hour because we once interviewed Katie and it was supposed to be a short interview, but it was 4 hours.
Yeah.
Tell her I promise it's a half an hour one, not another 4 hour one. I promise.
Yeah.
Maybe,
And anyone who's listening,
45 minutes.
Yeah, the Katie that we're talking about, it's Katie Agresta, and go look her up. She is just wonderful. She's a master vocal coach. Yeah, she's the vocal coach for like every world-renowned singer you could possibly think of. She's the instructor. Oh, she has a documentary coming out.
Oh,
so yes, so she's in a documentary.
Okay.
So yes, so Katie Agresta, she's in a documentary. So it's a documentary called Let the Canary Sing. It's all about Cyndi Lauper, and because Katie Agresta is Cyndi Lauper's vocal coach, and Katie she's prominently featured in.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, because she's her vocal coach. Yeah. So, and it's airing during the entire Tribeca Film Festival, to which of course we're going to. Katie and I, of course, are going to.
Okay.
And, it's in June. It's somewhere in June. June 19th, June 18th, somewhere in that. So yeah. So look up Tribeca Film Festival, and the documentary is called Let the Canary Sing. Yeah.
And if you guys are having fun here, and any of you are in the Pennsylvania area, Thomas and I are going to be at. Listen to us like we're like going to things, but we are.
We are.
We're going to be at. It is. Oh God. I think they call it CannaFest for WTHC's table. And we're going to be representing WTHC and Own Your Water. We're going to be doing like a dual thing there for Own Your Water and WTHC. And we're going to be handing out free water to people if you want to sign up to get on our email list for Own Your Water and actually for WTHC, because we're doing what is that called? Like a newsletter for WTHC.
Yeah.
And then you come over and you can visit us, and we'll both be at the table, as well as the hippie. And that is going to be at the West End Fairgrounds in what town is that? Oh, I can't think of the town.
What's I can't think of it either, and I drive.
Oh, that's so funny. Down in Monroe County, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
We'll give you more information. Broadheadsville. It's
Broadheadsville. That's it. That's it.
So we will be at the CannaFest, representing WTHC and our show. It'll be the perfect positivity. Like we're going to be representing like 10 things at that event, and none of them are cannabis related. You and I are just we're there to make sure everything runs well for the rest of the table.
Yeah,
so that they can all enjoy themselves and enjoy the CannaFest, and you and I will be like, okay, I guess we'll make sure the table's cleared off and ready to go. But we will. We're gonna have a great time, and we'll be happy to meet anybody. Yeah, anybody who wants to come out. Oh my gosh! Wait a second. It says we have 71 comments over here. Where? I didn't even know. But can you see this on the side? Oh, you don't see it on the screen?
No. Wait.
Oh my goodness. So I think, so Pixie Mom says hi. Hi, Pixie Mom.
Hey.
And Barbara, there's 71 comments. I didn't even know were coming in.
Uh-oh.
Some of them are the same comments as I guess it's people that commented in various places all get here, because then I see Patty and Ganja Lover and Lady Shay and all the posts that I had seen earlier on our Facebook, but they're all mixed in here from different places. There's other ones as well. How cool. Now I know they're all right here. I don't have to keep looking at my phone and scrolling through Facebook. They're right here, and I just didn't. Now I know. No, hey, we're learning. This is a learning experience.
Yeah.
That's great. All right, so we are going to start to talk about our topic earlier because we have homework. So yeah. And remember earlier we said, and it's such a hard task. I heard myself do it. Every time I heard myself do it, I had to rephrase my sentence tonight. To stop using the word but. So it's not just the word but, it's rephrasing that was our theme. I hope everyone caught it. Rephrasing what you're saying, whether it's you're talking to somebody and you have that urge to gossip and you stop yourself and you think, all right, if I need to say something, like I could say, hey, I heard Jenna is sick. That's okay. you could state a fact. Hey, Jenna's not doing. Poor Jenna. Let me think of a different name. Tony is not doing a great job at his job right now. He keeps missing this important step. You can say that, but if you go, can you believe Tony's not doing his job? No, it's rephrasing it. So it starts with the word but, not using the word but, trying to use the word and.
Right.
But then it's also going to be.
Really hate blah blah blah. I love that blah blah, but I really hate. I love this car, but I really hate.
Right.
But I want.
How about this? I really want to go to Greece next year, but it's just so expensive.
But I don't know how I'm going to get there.
I don't know how I'm going to get there. Right. So it's just like, hey, I really want to go to Greece next year. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. And I'm going to find the way to afford it. And
I'm going to find a way to make it work. Right.
I really want to go to Greece next year, and I'm looking forward to how the money's going to come to me so I can go.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to find out how it all plays out. I'm looking forward to that opportunity where someone offered me a job that's going to give me an extra 10 grand, and that's exactly what I need for my trip.
Right.
I'm looking forward to seeing how it all comes together.
Yeah.
So it's changing the buts to ands, but it's also it's all about what we say. So it's changing, instead of saying something, you can state a truth about someone. Like, I don't want people to think you can't ever say anything bad about anyone ever. If it's a truth and you need to say it because you guys need to resolve it and get to the next page, you really do.
Judgment. Yeah. Say it without
Say it with no judgment. Yeah. Like, hey, I got to tell you, Doran, when you steal my lunch out of the fridge at work, it really does bother me. And if you're really hungry, I could make 2 sandwiches.
Yeah.
If you want, why don't we order together tomorrow instead of you eating my my Taco Bell out of the fridge? Whatever it is, it's changing how you do it. This just made me think of Wayne Dyer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was talking about in the movie The Shift, if you haven't watched the movie The Shift, I'm going to post it on the page.
I know.
Have you never watched it?
I know. I know. I know.
Didn't you share it with our other friends once?
I did, and I shared it out, and then I know.
Thomas. Okay.
I know.
That was said with judgment.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm just teasing. Listen, it wasn't your time to see it, but in the movie The Shift, there's a scene where there's a mom and she's stressing out. She can't get her kids to come to the table and eat lunch. They're playing on the beach. They're having a good time. And she's like, kids, it's time for lunch. Kids, it's time for lunch. And Wayne kind of jumps in and goes, try it this way. And he says, hey, kids, when you're done playing, your lunch is ready. And the kids finished in about 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came up and they enjoyed lunch with their mom, which is what mom wanted them to sit with her, But it was how she addressed it. It was like, hey,
the approach.
It was the approach. It was like, hey, I started doing that here at the house with my kids because I was having the same problem. My kids were older and they were running around doing this, running around doing that. And I stopped doing, hey, we're having dinner at 5:00 because that wasn't working in this household. This one had practice. This one was working. This one had this. And I started saying, hey, dinner's ready. I set it up so you guys can serve yourself whenever.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? They would come down. We might not all sit and have dinner together at the table, like ideally, but they would come down and sit and have dinner with us for a few minutes on their own time. And it just became a more joyful time for our family. It went from being a stressful, come down here and eat right now. It's time for dinner. To, oh, I just finished up with so-and-so and I was hungry. And now they're happy to have that conversation. So I had these teenagers, they're one's turning 18 soon and the other one's 20s now. But during those stressful teen years, it just turned into a situation where they would come down on their own terms and suddenly they were sharing with us. They were excited to talk to us. And all I did was take that expectation off. And it's actually, right? This is the same thing as Tommy's graduation party.
Yep.
As soon as I took that off the table, and it wasn't me trying to force him to have that graduation party of expectation of this is the party you're supposed to have. And I said, well, what do you want to do? And his uncle was like, just come hang out with us. and it turned into, yeah, we'll have a party at the beach. All of a sudden he was like, yeah, I'm in. I'm excited. You know, when you open your mind and you don't have it all set in stone with this is how it has to be. This is what, you know, this is what it's supposed to look like. And it kind of goes that way with this show, you know? Instead
we
of
don't really script. Yeah, we don't really script a lot. We have topics that we discuss, we want to kind of touch upon, and then we just let the conversation take it to where it really meant to go. And then, you know, like Lori showed up unexpectedly, and that was wonderful. You know, things like that. The conversation shifts and ebbs and flows the way that it's supposed to go.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's really the metaphor. That's the metaphor for how to manifest, how to bring about happiness, how to bring about positive experiences, how to bring about things that you want. You know, just let it go a little bit, let it ebb and flow back to you.
Yeah. Hold on. I was trying to include more people on the Discord, but it just isn't happening the way I wanted to.
All of those comments, I know where you're talking about, and I was. Now I know. Oh, there it is. There it is. Let me mute this. Yes, there.
Yes. So we're still getting the tech. All right, so we're going to go to our last commercial break, and then it's time for us to say our goodbyes. But you already know what the secret homework is, and you know, we're going to do some quick gratitudes after this commercial break, and then we're going to let you guys go back to your Sunday evening.
Yep.
All right, I hope we brought you some joy. Hold on while I get you a commercial. Let's try this one.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager.
It's just us again.
Learning the lingo.
And everybody else, you can see us on Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
Now, when a teen says something is on fleek,
but they can't hear us on the radio.
Saying, that's rad.
I think we were much smoother this week than last week.
Yeah.
With the intros and that. And how do you like the background music? Is that going okay for you?
As in,
what background music?
There's background music playing. When you replay it, you're going to hear it. It's just this dun, dun, dun.
Oh, in the beginning.
No, it's still playing.
Oh, I have no idea. I can't hear it.
I have it down nice and low, but it is still there.
All right.
You don't have to
I think it's like a nice.
I think it's
our
noise.
In foster care I'm going to tell you, I didn't listen to any others.
Just the same.
It is.
To learn more,
it was called Daydreaming, and I went Daydreaming.
Public service announcement.
I didn't even listen to any of the others.
Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US
Daydreaming
Kids,
it is.
And the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very
You know what I
special
should play?
woman.
That Own Your
In a
Water
matter of
commercial probably
seconds,
too.
She turned herself into a
I heard
great
that guy
and entrepreneur.
likes his commercials
Her
played.
knowledge was limitless.
I did mention
and
your
still
really heard it. Yeah, I haven't really
She
heard
could
it.
also make monsters disappear.
I'm looking for it. I don't know where it
especially
is.
those that lurked in the shadows.
Oh, that's
under
great.
the cloud. Once, this woman
Oh,
put
that's
back
good to hear.
together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000
He knows how to
pieces
play it. It's
just
me
by
who
giving
doesn't.
her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person.
We'll just
at
talk
work,
about it again quick.
but as a superhero.
We'll thank
at
our
home.
sponsor.
Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her.
I think
Mom.
we're gonna have to do that because I don't see it, and I know he knows how to get to it, but I don't.
Your hero needs you now. And
So that's your
AARP
homework. We
is
got to
here
figure
help.
out how to.
Find
How to
the
play the
care guides you
commercial?
need to help,
Yep.
complete with tips and resources.
I know the chick who
at
says the commercial, and she could just say it.
AARP.org/caregiving. A public service
Yeah, she could
announcement
just
brought to
repeat
you by
it.
AARP and the Ad Council.
She doesn't get it right every time. Hey, welcome back to WTHC Radio, and I'm Michelle, and this is Thomas.
Hello.
And we're actually ending the show, but we wanted to do some thank yous first. And my first one wants to be to all the people who sponsored us. Now, we have a couple good ones here. Across, if you're watching us live, you can see that Lori was one of our sponsors. We have Kelly. She's one of our sponsors. We have Love Nug Bud. I always want to get that right. I'm always afraid I'm switching it up. And they all gave us support on our live feed and our website. But I especially, that's why you see the big banner right there. I especially want to thank ownyourwater.org, which happens to be Thomas's company. He is the main radio sponsor that we have, and I should have been playing his commercial But I cannot figure out how to do it because I am not a regular DJ. I am happy to be in the Perfect Positivity Show talk show host, but I am not a regular DJ and I don't know how to use all the equipment. So I don't know how to run the commercial, but I wanted to do an extra thanks to them. And it happens to be Thomas's company. So extra thanks to Thomas. If you have any questions about your water, you want better water, alkaline water, water that can help you feel better, water that absorbs more easily into your system, that's who you want to talk to. You want to go to ownyourwater.org. And if you go to the email there, it brings you to Thomas. And he can tell you how to get a water machine. His water machines are amazing. They make the water taste better. They make the water. See, you're getting more than your 30-second commercial right now, sir. They make the water taste better and they make it alkaline so it can absorb more easily into you. And it does so much more than that. And I know that if you get a blood test done, it actually, not that you should be getting a blood test done every time you drink water, but you can actually see the effects on your blood. And it's just an amazing product. And I highly recommend to anybody, if you're having some health concerns and you want to address it holistically, definitely one of the ways you can make a change in your life to start feeling a little bit better. And again, if you have more questions, just hit up ownyourwater.org and it'll go right to Thomas. He's the one who answers your questions. So don't be afraid to go there and chat that website up because you'll get some great answers. And we'll definitely do an episode where we talk about water and other things you could put into your body to make you feel better naturally.
Yeah, we're going to do a nutrition. We're going to do a water. We're going to
do 100%.
Yeah.
And I guess we could probably add, the really positive effects you can have with medical marijuana if that's something you need. We can, because we talk about that a lot on WTHC. But we can hit on it from other points of view too, because there's so much more than just the medical marijuana. And the water is so great. And then there's you can eat mangoes that can enhance how you're feeling and turmeric and all these other amazing things that can really make some differences in life. And that's what we're about, is just having the best life, right? So
living the best life.
All right. So back to our topic of how you say things, and we're closing up the show in the next few minutes. Some of the stuff we wanted to talk about was gratitude. So one of my things personally, as I've been going through my journey, is sometimes I don't feel like affirmations. Sometimes I don't feel good enough. I don't feel like I'm feeling bad, for whatever reason. Something's happened.
Something triggered. Yeah.
Something triggered. Maybe it's chemical. I hate to say these words, but sometimes it's a PMS thing. As a woman, strong, who believes women can do anything, there are days I know I feel a little bit chemically off. How can I change that vibe naturally? How can I change that vibe? And that's a nutrition one as well for our future show. But I mean, like right now. And I find going over my gratitude, the things I feel thankful for, my gratitude list. Now, the other day I shared this very funny Amy Schumer video with Thomas and a few other people, where she's like, gratitude. And and well, what are you thankful for? I'm just thankful that my skin looks so great from drinking all this water and the Botox I got, and it was, it was a comedy and they were being a little sarcastic, but it made me laugh. But there is truth in the first part of it. When I sit there and I am thankful for everything, and I take a second when something I'm not feeling quite right, and I take a breath and I go, all right, I am so thankful for this. I'm so thankful my cat is sitting on me right now because I can pet him and he's purring and I like the way that feels. The warmth is soft fur. I am so happy and thankful for, and you start looking at the little things. The coffee is warm and the creamer tastes good.
Right.
I'm so happy and thankful that I had creamer this morning in my fridge.
Yeah.
Or if I didn't, I'm so happy that I found the $3 I needed to go to Dunkin' to get myself a cup of coffee.
Right.
Whatever it is, you start to count those little tiny things in your gratitude, and all of a sudden the shift just starts to happen. You just start to feel better.
Right.
And sometimes you can't look at the big stuff. The big stuff's coming down. Something bad's happening. You're like, ugh. look at those little things. I am so happy that I have a sweatshirt on right now because I know it's cold outside and I'm nice and toasty in my sweatshirt. And I just start to go from there. Now, Thomas, I think this is his gift. See, you don't even know. I know I said it last week. This is your gift. Thomas can turn everything into a moment of gratitude. I could be telling him, I'll call him and I'll be like, Thomas, I can't believe this happened today. And he just immediately says, I am so happy and grateful this happened. And I'm like, you're right. And I spin it. And the day I got my car towed, so I go down to Philadelphia, I get my car towed, and I am now lost in the middle of a city I don't know. I'm a New York girl. I would have felt at least a little comfortable if I was there. I have 50 people I could call to come pick me up. I'm in Philadelphia, a city I don't know. I call my one friend from Philadelphia, and she says to me, it's tax day, Michelle, and I'm an accountant, so I will not be picking you up. And I went, what the heck am I going to do? I don't know what to do. And I'm panicking. And I met a girl, and the girl tells me how to get to my car and everything I need. But I'm still panicking. And then I talk to Thomas, and Thomas goes, you're so happy and grateful you met that girl, aren't you? I'm like, yeah, she was the nicest girl, and, he kind of kept going from there. And then I started to realize I met this really, really nice girl, and she was amazing. And she taught me how to use the bus on my phone. And I didn't even know, but my phone had a bus option, but everybody's phone does, if you need to know, on Google. And you can take a bus or subway with your phone. And it told me what bus to take, where I had to take it, and how to get from point A to point B via that. And guess what? It cost me less than $5, and I was able to get to my car. And then I was like, oh gosh, how am I going to pay for this? I only have a couple $100 in the bank. How am I going to do this? Oh, I'm panicking in my heart. And it was less. I did, so I said to Thomas, what am I going to do? And he was like, it'll be taken care of. Don't worry about it. And I just started to do that self-talk. And guess what? I'm so happy and grateful. It was way less than I had. Like, I had enough money that I went to Dunkin' on my way out and got myself a coffee for the ride back.
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm at Dunkin'. You're like, where are you? I'm like, I'm at Dunkin' getting coffee.
I was like, what?
I deserve a coffee.
I was like, 10 minutes ago, you were waiting for your car. What are you talking about?
I took a bus in a city I don't know, and I get Dunkin' for that. So, if you don't laugh and celebrate these things as you find them. And I then sat in traffic, and I was sitting in that traffic, and then I got to see this rowing team, and I don't know if they were from LaSalle. I'm trying to think of, Temple, the colleges that are down there. They were rowing. They were definitely a college rowing team. And I was so engaged. So even though I was stuck in this bumper to bumper traffic at rush hour, I got to watch this really cool thing that you don't see every day. And I find very interesting. And it was a beautiful day, and they're rowing, and it was gorgeous. And I was like, oh, this is a treat, So it's finding the small things to have gratitude towards. So I don't know, Thomas, not to put you on the spot, but you have any you want to throw at us?
So let's see. I personally, and especially today, and especially even yesterday, I said goodbye to something yesterday that was actually kind of traumatic in life. I am very happy and grateful knowing that I have the ability to change what I truly don't want in my life. I'm very happy and grateful knowing I can shift the script, so to speak, and kind of augment something into something more positive, into something that I really want. Knowing that I can do that is actually extremely comforting to me. Knowing how to do that is extremely comforting.
I love that. I love that because, first of all, we are very close friends, and you did not mention to me that you were struggling with anything. So I had no idea.
So I didn't even. So I went to. I'll tell you really quick because I know we're ending. Many eons ago, I had a job as a kid that I hated, and I hated going there, and I just hated everything about it. It was miserable. So I went to Katie and we went to a Van Gogh exhibit.
Yes, I saw that.
Yes, it was in not only the building, that I had to go to when I worked in this building, but also the exact room, the exact space.
Shut up.
That it was in. So I took the experience as me being allowed to have this wonderful positive experience with a beloved friend and let go of the hatred and the resentment and just all the feelings of doubt and self-hatred and self-annihilation in this space. And I had this wonderful experience, and then I was able to augment the energy back out. Yeah.
What a way to end the show, Thomas. That was awesome. You held on to that story. It was a great one. I would have burst that out in the first breath of the hour. That's fantastic. I love it. And thank you for sharing that. And that is it. Like, you were able to have the gratitude of
being
what
able,
a gift to have the closure.
And I knew that it was in the same building. And I drove up and I was like, oh, all right. So being here doesn't feel great, but we're going to have a good day anyway. So we're taking the escalator up, and I'm taking the escalator up, and I was like, this is how I used to go to work. And as I'm walking up to the front door, I'm like, this is my door. This is the door where I used to work. And I was like, oh. And then you
told me it's in a storefront. That's all you said to me. Oh, it's in a storefront. I wonder where.
Yeah.
I wonder where you said to me before you went. That's fantastic that it turned out like that. Wow.
I was just about to go in. You and I were on the phone. I was just about to go in. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, Thomas, I'm so glad it worked out that way, and you had that opportunity, because sometimes
to let it all go.
When you have that anger over that thing from a long time ago, and you just it's just there.
Yeah.
And you were able to say, hey, this is gone now, and I'm able to enjoy this spot and enjoy this place, and the company's gone. Like, you're able to not revel in that, but revel in just it's the past, and it's
like,
the
look
contrast.
At how far I've come. Yeah, look at
how far I've come, and I knew I didn't like that.
Yeah. Look at how far I've come.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And on that note, it's 9. So WTHC is going to sign back on to some music for those of you who are liking their classic rock and mix of local artists we have. And we will be back next Sunday. I'm hoping for the same time. And you can also watch us on our YouTube channel anytime this week. We are going to try to cut this up into some smaller clips too, but I can't promise anything yet. And we're going to make it amazing one way or the other, but it's going to be everywhere, so you guys can watch it anytime during the week and share it with friends. Please share. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.